Last session, the party took part in the Yuletide Festival and all the various activities it offered. Josel decided to start his three-peat attempt at a drinking contest with Cronus in the morning. Managed to come out the winner on that one. Followed up by the girls dominating a family with a smaller child and some curling. Now, after that, Josel's second attempt in the drinking contest with the girls in company. Faye ended up winning that one. Now the drunk party attempts to do some ice sculptures and log toss events because that sounds like a fantastic idea to do while you're inebriated. Next thing we know, snowballs were being thrown at us, and it ends up being orphans that recognized Cronus walking around. We were voluntold to go do some ice skating that somehow everyone managed to do rather well in, if I'm not mistaken. The night followed up with some dancing and carrying passed out drunk Josel back to the inn and wagon, where Nika and Faye decided to try to throw snowballs at Cronus and Lorna as well. We met Vax and his lady friend in a very awkward situation. After that, Joseph was put in the wagon, where he is assumed to be passed out. Nika and Faye had went up to their rooms, and Cronus and Lorna decided to pretty much hang out in one of their rooms and talk for a while. And at that point, Cronus decided to check on the dragon egg. And next thing you know, there is a baby dragon sitting in front of him.
Would you guys like to start off well, I kind of would like to address the dragon in the room. Do you want to do that just in the general channel, or do you guys want to role play that privately, or just what would you guys like to do, Lorna and Cronus?
It's up to you, Cronus.
They're all
I mean, the secret's out that they already know.
Yeah, they know there's a dragon, so.
But I didn't know if there's like something private, maybe, because I know you're still thinking like maybe names or what you'd like to do with this overall. So I didn't know if there's anything you wanted to discuss or.
They'll probably find out eventually.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Probably.
So. They will find out eventually, knowing Anika and Faye and their damn curiosities. So.
Hey, yeah. You know, Faye might find out because Dragon Daddy might tell her about it.
Also, not because, you know, it's a dragon.
Mm-hmm.
That's not why we find out.
It's really small, though.
Yeah.
It's not like it's
itty bitty.
Wolfram enters the room.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this
Shotgun
is going to be very interesting how this is going to work with a black chromatic dragon as a pet.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, we'll get there.
Yeah. Lorna is just like stunned silent that, oh fuck, that's a dragon. That's a...
Yeah, you know... I'm actually surprised that that book told the truth and it worked.
That's a very, that's gonna be a problem. I don't know if it's gonna be a problem or... Oh, that's a Christmas miracle.
Christmas.
Yuletide miracle.
I mean, I don't know if it's a miracle that it in the middle of like one of the bigger cities that we've been in, but it works.
Yeah. What are you gonna do with it?
I'm gonna go outside and set it free. What do you mean, what are we gonna do with it?
you realize if you set it loose, you're gonna.
It was a joke.
I should hope so.
I've been carrying this thing around with me for a while.
I was gonna say, if you're gonna set it loose, you might as well set it loose on the fucking egg. Okay. So what are you gonna call it?
I'm thinking Umbra.
Umbra?
Yes.
Yeah? It's cute. It's gender neutral.
I mean, I'm gonna have to look at the book to figure out how to tell if this thing's a boy or a girl. So.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I'll let you do that parenting.
Yeah, it's kind of crawling all over like the table that you set it on. It's crawled itself out of the shell now. It's fumbling over. It's still a little, slimy from the hatching process, but it's just kind of exploring around. It's not a puppy, but it's kind of looking at you guys and doing that like, a baby animal biting a little bit at you, but it's generally harmless and looking, just kind of exploring, I guess, life in general.
Does that book tell you what it eats? What it needs to eat?
I mean, I don't have the book. I gave it to you a while back, remember?
Oh, that's right. Fuck. I'll be back. She runs out of the room. As she gets to the door, she's like, oh, let's not make a racket. And like quietly opens the door, quietly shuts it, jogs to her room, rummages and grabs the book and runs back.
Make a stealth check.
Ah, fuck. Who knows? I could just.
Against our passives.
I trip and fall.
I'll give you the option of rolling acrobatics if you can convince me you're trying not to be stealthy, but rather dexterous in your attempts to get to the supplies that you're seeking.
Yeah, I trip and fall, and then like I roll to the door, and that's kind of where I hit my head. But like I open it enough that I like roll into the room. Sure.
Okay. I will say. Oh my goodness.
I'll do it at disadvantage.
Oh my goodness. Who's got the highest perception here? I think it's Anika, right?
Probably.
Anika, I think you have your
I have
passive's
an
one
18.
higher than mine.
Go.
I have a 17.
I think just go ahead. Just roll a. Yeah, you guys can. You don't even have to. You guys hear something. It's just a weird bump in the middle of the night. Nothing too odd. Just staying at public places and inns and taverns. It's not enough to bother you, hopefully. But Lorna, you go ahead and you get what you're looking for.
I just look up from the scroll and mutter, "What are they doing?"
All
you
the
have
things.
the same thoughts, but sleeping.
Well, you totally know something's going out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. I will run and grab the book, and then I've made enough noise that I close the door and go back into Cronus's room. I don't think anybody heard me.
I mean, I'm sorry
Cronus,
to tell
you
you, but
definitely
I
heard
heard you.
I mean, you knew it was me. They might not know that it was. Here's the book. Tosses it down.
Alright, I guess I'm gonna try to skim through the book to figure out, see if it gives me any food ideas and how to tell its gender.
I'll sit beside him and help look.
No offense, Lorna, but I don't think I'll let you help in this investigation.
Okay.
But no, you're totally. You guys are looking through the book. Go ahead and just do an investigation check. You definitely find the answers just to see how long it takes you, Cronus, to find the answer. Okay. Taking into consideration that this is not the first time you read this book, but you kind of it'll take a little bit of time, but not the whole night to obviously get to the content that you're trying to find. It gives you the anatomy of a dragon of sorts that would kind of point you in the direction of what sex it may be. But generally, due to its size, you would think that it would be a male. I'm double checking one note here. Yes. Okay. Just want to double check that's what I said last night. And you'll see that it will, general diet would be like different types of meat, raw meat like chicken, rats. At this age, probably, small chickens, that's probably be a little bit big. How big are these things? Let me see. About. It's a baby, so it's not even going to be the size of a wormling yet. Although I guess technically it's kind of considered a hatchling. What does it say?
Short game, man. How big do you want it?
Well, I'm just trying to think, but because I don't. I imagine this is at this age, just freshly hatched. It is probably a little bit, probably about the size of a baby duck, I would say, in weight, but it will kind of grow up a little bit. It will get a little bit larger while it's like in its baby wormling kind of stage. So it's right now about the size of a baby duck, like waiting, with a lot longer wingspan.
Okay. Are you gonna tell the group? I mean, they know you had the egg.
I feel like that's not something I can really hide.
I mean, that's true. Don't want to put it back into the bag of holding, because that would just, suffocate it eventually.
Not a baby duck, sorry. I didn't realize how small baby ducks are. It'd be like the size of an iguana, like an adult iguana. It's a dragon with a wingspan.
It's like the size of a keyboard. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool.
That's perfect. Thank you, Lorna, for that.
Yeah. Doesn't have to be an animal. It's
I am
about the size of a
judging
keyboard.
distances or sizes of anything. I can't.
No worries. Okay. Yeah, that's gonna be something.
Yeah. I currently don't have anything to feed this thing. So.
I did do some baking in the kitchen. I could probably run in there and grab
I mean, I don't think this thing's gonna want to eat pastries.
Well, no, I was not gonna get them pastries. I'm gonna get it meat or something, You stay here and be its father. Congrats, you're a father now.
At this point, the dragon's kind of like it's getting its land legs, if you will. It's not kind of fumbling around the table as much. And as it kind of catches, it gets able to kind of some sort of balance, and it's starting to look like it's moving. It kind of takes a tumble off the table, and it's kind of flaps its wings a little bit to catch a little bit of air, just slowly falling, or slowing its fall briefly, but it ultimately just falls on the floor. It gets up and just kind of shakes it off, but it's kind of like looks like it's just moving around. It's exploring, and moving around.
Have you ever held a child? Cronus, are you prepared to be a father?
No, and probably not.
Is
Okay.
anyone really prepared to be a father?
Is it what?
Do what?
Is anyone ever really prepared to be a father?
Probably not.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna go try and find some meat for this little guy. Yeah.
Already.
And she'll run off to the kitchens. See if there's any raw meat.
You do. You'll go run off, and while she's away, Cronus, looking for something in the kitchen to feed this new addition to the family, you will see that it seems to definitely gotten the hang of walking. In just a little bit of time it's been hatched, and it seems to kind of figure out its I guess motor skills a little bit better, and it seems to be kind of crawling around the room and kind of checking. It currently is heading for like a dresser, a set of drawers, and kind of heading towards the little the space underneath the dresser into that, as it seems to kind of be wandering and trying to explore your room. What would you like to do?
So I'll walk over and I'll just go ahead and just pick it up.
Go ahead, and you're just gonna reach and pick it up. Okay, go ahead and do a animal handling check. Okay. You go to scoop it up, and as you do, the dragon kind of reacts aggressively at first, like just kind of, or not aggressive, I'm sorry, like more like it's defensively. It kind of tries to scoot over and get away from you, and then it actually lunges to try to like take a nip, but you handle yourself, and you are prepared enough to kind of expect for this reptile to kind of take a strike. You know, instinctually, and you're able to pick it up and avoid a few bites as it tries, and it eventually will stop kind of nipping and then attempting to, I guess, perch on your shoulder, trying to climb itself up your arm and onto your shoulder after a little bit of time. But it's still kind of, I don't know. It's kind of looking at you, and it's kind of having that look at you, where it's like, I don't know, I might bite you, but like a cat. It's very much like a cat right now. That hey, I'm cool with this right now, but I might decide if you try to pet me to bite you.
Yeah, seeing that it's trying to climb up my arm, I'd probably just kind of help it out a little bit to get to my shoulder.
And it's kind of looking around, and again, it's still kind of mouthing and doing that thing, like it's trying, and it's looking, momentarily at you, but it's using its kind of vantage point up on your shoulder to kind of look out the room. It's obviously already kind of got that instinct to hunt and he's to feed, and it's probably looking for any kind of critters around it, small enough to fit in its mouth. Lorna, you do spend this time while Curtis is up in the room with the dragon, and you're able to find some, poultry or pork or other kind of raw meat down there. But the chicken is probably the stuff that's the most easiest, our smallest form. I guess. So you find that, I imagine, and take it back to the room.
Yep.
And you'll see Cronus with a dragon that's kind of up on its shoulder, scoping out the room. But as soon as you open the door and he sees you, not seeing the food that you're carrying, or how are you carrying it up there? Just on a plate, or
I probably put it between like two plates, and like, was it like a whole chicken? Maybe like a plate and a bowl, so people wouldn't see that I'm carrying raw meat up too. my room.
Yeah, it's a yeah, okay. So it's like not exposed, but you're
Correct.
carrying something.
Yeah.
The dragon kind of sees you as you open up the door, and as it sees Lorna, it will kind of drop or jump from your shoulder down to the ground and start heading towards Lorna's way. It's kind of clumsy in its
Oh no.
attempt and not as graceful in its descent. He's still figuring things out, but he seems to be heading towards Lorna. And
I will crouch down and kind of just stare it down. Not in a aggressive way, but I am curious about you too. What are you doing?
you're kind of
I'm
like,
crouching down on my on the balls of my feet, kind of.
if you're trying to like stand your ground against him, I would say that's more
Well,
intimidation. Not in the like. I understand you're not being aggressive towards him,
yeah.
but it's like you're challenging him. Like, hey, check yourself
Oh.
before you wreck yourself. And I want to see if he's going to
I don't want him
kind
to
of
hate me.
because I mean he is a baby, but eventually he will be smart enough to act a little less animal. But he's very more baby instinct, lizard like.
Oh, okay. I don't want it to hate me though. I'm not trying to make it hate me.
It's again, it's not. I'm not seeing it as much as an aggressive thing as a like.
Alpha kind of.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. It's a he's kind of challenging and seeing what he can get
He
away
can.
with right
Yeah.
now.
Okay.
None, you guys aren't food. You're too big for that at the moment. I'm so sorry. I'm trying to find the character sheet I just gave you for this guy because it has
Oh.
his what would that be? I guess charisma or insight. Insight, which is wisdom.
Yes.
Oh shoot! I got excited that I had a link and I just got it. All right, so it's just a straight D20 then.
Oh.
Holy
Oh shit!
But you still check him in his
Still.
face. He is very adamant though. He kind of gets close, comes like near. Actually, you know what? This is perfect.
Sure.
As he's kind of rushing towards you, Lorna, and you kind of hold your ground, it kind of switches its stance at the last minute as it gets kind of closer to you, and you kind of don't budge.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of breaks its direct eyesight or like eye contact with you that it's locked onto you before,
Yeah.
and then you see it kind of pause almost on its approach, and it's unclear if it's whether you're standing your ground or the smell that it caught in its nose at the last moment of the raw food that you seem to be carrying on your person, and he seems a lot less aggressive and a lot more just I want to see what you got, and he's just kind of starting to climb up you and get to a point where he can see what's in your
Oh
hands.
god. Okay.
He's go ahead and do animal handling because he is also again very bitey. He's very interested, but he is like he's just seeing what he can or can't bite.
Everything apparently. I'm like trying to keep the
mean,
chicken away from him and trying to give the chicken to Cronus so Cronus can feed it and be the parent.
Okay. So after that, so as you try to do that and hand him off and just try to like get the dragon out of your hand, I mean it's not a pleasant, it's not graceful in the sense it's very clumsy, and the dragon does not seem to be happy about it at some point, and we'll get a nip in on one of your fingers.
Yep.
And just kind of like a snake, and it does like a retracts its head and strikes at you a little bit.
Oh great.
Go, or Cronus, is there anything else you guys would like to do tonight with the baby as you kind of feed him and get him settled in for the night before we kind of, I guess, go to sleep and wake up for the morning? Is there anything you'd like to do, or is there anything more you'd like to discuss with Lorna? You guys said you guys wanted to name him. Did you decide on that, or is that something you're just thinking still? Amber, I think you said what you were thinking. I will put
Man.
that in there for now.
Yeah.
If you change your mind, just let me know. It's not like it's
Mhm.
written in stone. All right, cool.
Yeah, I think I'm good.
All right. Well, you guys are going to have a rough night, and the long rest that you've had over this holiday break is going to be enough to kind of make up for the abrupt parenthood that has fallen into your lap, Cronus. It's a long night of just kind of up and down as he kind of gets into shit that it's not supposed to, biting on things, pulling at fabric, essentially fucking up your hotel room while you sleep through the night. Or as you guys sleep through the night. I don't know if you guys are you guys staying up all night talking? I can't remember what you guys decided. Are you? So, yeah, I mean, I didn't know if you guys were staying up all night. That's all I need to know.
Probably not
Are you going
all
to sleep?
night.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you guys you go to long rest, and you guys then
Oh God.
go to bed and both fall asleep, and the rest of you all wake up in the morning to again a smorgasbord breakfast prepared by the hotel. They left a note for you guys on the table next to all the food. It's on a folded card. Who's the first one to wake up and be at the table?
I think I'd be one of the first ones up.
All right. So you will see the food first day, and you'll notice the card. If you pick up the card?
I pick up the card. Is it addressed to all of us, or?
Yeah, it's addressed to to Karuda.
I'll check it out first, and then I'll tell everyone about it.
Um, yeah, so I'm sorry, we've noticed that you guys got hungry in the middle of the night, and we prepared a little extra food for you guys and some leftovers to kind of keep for you in the evening. We can store anything you guys don't finish down here during your stay, and it's just a little bit extra, a few extra sides, a few extra meats, just all kind of prepared sausages, salt, ham, and all that stuff.
What did they do last night?
I imagine the rest of you all getting up. You know what? Roll me Cronus, Lorna, and Josel. Go ahead and give me D20, and I'll see which one of you wakes up. Which group, I guess, wakes up first or last.
Said D20.
Yeah.
Barton, I just wake up whenever.
Yeah. We're sleeping in.
All right.
I'm sleeping in.
Well then, if you're if you guys choose to sleep in, then Josel, what do you like to do? Are you sleeping in too, or would you get up around breakfast time as usual?
Yeah, Joseph will get up.
Okay.
And, his head is pounding. And then he's gonna quickly jump up, burst out through the back door of his wagon, and he's gonna point to the nearest person. You, what day is it?
You do that, and you startle back. So he's just trying to jump. So it's like, Simone, you gotta really give it a take it easy. And he'll give you the date.
It's over. It's over. And he's gonna rush into the hotel, and he's gonna go get breakfast.
And as you do, Bax goes, "It's a Christmas miracle," and a Yuletide miracle. Geez, I need another water. I'm sorry, one moment. Okay. So yes, you join them at the table, and actually, Bart, do you kind of join them at the table as usual? You know, I know you don't have to eat, but do you participate in the ritual to make the others at ease, or what do you like to do during breakfast?
We'd probably just be sitting at the fire, rocking in a chair or something.
You might be a little. You know, we did not give you a recap of what you were doing during Yuletide festivities, Bart. So let me give you a quick recap because I really, yeah, thought it was great because we kind of came up with something for your new fish hook. So while the others participated in the other winter activities, you immediately had a keen idea that we all agreed as a pirate, you would probably cheat to win even at a holiday festivity. And you decided to go to the ice fishing contest at the fountain and use your new magical fishing rod. Later on that night, the group, as they were returning to the inn to retire for the evening, got a glimpse of you arguing with some of the staff over a monstrous three-eyed fish, multiple fins, some weird kind of aberration, kind of type alien-like looking fish, not from any natural lake or body of water in the area. And you are trying to argue, like, just lying straight through to, like, it was, you know, that you found it in this in the same pond as the other ones. You probably are a little you could are you they would have declined your claim to the victory and told you you cheated and you lost, so you did not win last night. So you have that to maybe ponder through the evenings or the morning. But yeah, so the rest of you all though do finally group up to the table in the morning. It's a little while before you will see Lorna and Cronus, but after you guys dig in and start eating Lorna and Cronus, you guys will eventually wake up. How do you guys want to introduce your new, or I keep saying you guys, but how do you want to introduce the dragon, Cronus? Or yourselves, I guess, or what would you guys like to do?
Yeah, so pretty much I would try just to get them like perched up on my shoulder again, just like hanging around. And
go ahead and do it animal handling again and see if he'll tolerate it, how tolerable he'll be. Not this morning. You try to pick him up and he will take a strike at you. Biting one of your fingers, doing and kind of move away and try to like just give a little space and distance between you and him. Yeah, it doesn't seem like it's really liking the idea of being on your shoulder and leaving the room at this moment. It's kind of in a defensive, like scared, not scared, just defensive position. Do you want to try to persuade him again, or do you guys want to just kind of leave him in the room as you go to explain what happened?
You could use some of the chicken. Try and
is there any
coax
left?
him. Was there any chicken left?
You guys probably have a few pieces left. He pretty much ate everything that you did bring up, but there's a few scraps left over that you could pull out of the bowl and coax it further. And go ahead and
I would do that. I would do that. Try to get him up there.
Okay, yeah, go ahead and do that, Alien. All right. He's not wanting to climb up on your shoulder right now, but he does look like he's going to kind of come out of his little corner and follow you. It's kind of it seems to be interested in following you. It's kind of looking you up and down and just take a few steps closer, and but he doesn't seem to want to be picked up right now.
All right, I'm just going to open the door, and in Draconic, I'll just say, "Come on." Knowing that, I know it doesn't understand what I'm saying, but
I mean,
And then I'm just gonna walk out of the room.
it reacts to your voice and your words, and it, yeah. So you enter the living or the main living area with the rest of the group enjoying breakfast. Lorna, what do you do as you wake up this morning?
Um,
And you see kind of Cronus trying to get the dragon out the door.
I will just usher it from behind and make sure it doesn't go back, and
Okay.
just be ready to grab it if it starts like trying to escape somewhere.
Okay. Go ahead and do animal handling.
Okay. Yep.
You know, he part of the reason he might be on edge on climbing back on Cronus's shoulders is the fact that you're trying to push him from behind, usher him back into the main living space. But between the both of you, your group effort, and a few times the dragon kind of looking back, it's sneering at you like it wants to kind of bite you, but it seems to be more interested in the what is left by your friends of the smoked meats and the other things that have been cooked fresh on the table. And it seems that it's quickened its pace once it has caught on to cooked food. And it is not so much trailing behind you, Cronus, as more by your ankle, kind of like raising its head very high and kind of looking and sniffing the whole area. It hasn't seemed like it's round the bend to make eye contact with your friends yet. There's some, plants and other decorations that seem to block its direct vision and your group's direct vision. But you're basically in one of those situations where it's right around the corner and you're looking at the group eating their breakfast. What would you like to do?
So it has shown curiosity in going forward and what's ahead, right?
Correct. It smells cooked food, and it's
Right.
even more
Knowing that
interesting
it was using the height before, I'm gonna
now.
like kind of offer my arm down and see if it'll start climbing up.
Go ahead and do is animal handling a charisma? I imagine it's charisma, right?
No. It's a wisdom check.
I think this is more charisma based. So I would
Persuasion?
go with a persuasion check.
That's terrible.
Okay. I mean, the food is adding some advantage, but it does seem hesitant still and reluctant. But the smell of the food is kind of growing, and as it seems not like its favorite idea, it's more doing it out of whatever. I just want to see what's making all that great smell, and it scurries up, kind of scratching at your arm or your its claws against your scaly arms. Probably would be a little bit more dangerous. Like it would probably might have cut someone's normal skin, but he's not being very careful to climb you up, but he does, and he just immediately, not so much interested in you, is scoping out the room and looking at the table full of food. And this is the first time that not only does you see, or it can see your group, but the group you all see Cronus standing there with a dragon that's on his shoulder, and Lorna kind of trailing behind the dragon. And you all are in the breakfast. What would you like to do, everyone?
Well, that explains the note we got.
Must have been an awkward first night.
Good morning to you too.
I was wondering what that loud noise was.
I mean, I kind of assumed it was something else, but
I tripped and fell, okay?
yeah, I didn't assume it was that.
Clearly. She's kind of...
So you have a baby dragon.
Yes.
What's
And
their
like
name?
Finally hatched.
That too.
We're assuming it's a male. The book kind of points it towards that direction. but
Okay.
his name is Umbra.
Oh, that's cute.
In Draconic, I will say to the dragon, "Hello there, Umbra. Welcome to life."
It it reacts to your guys' voices and it will make eye contact with you, but it's like still very infant and more lizard like than wanting to chat. It seems I'm more interested in the food at the table.
I'll just reach down and grab like a piece of meat and kind of just hold it up to it.
Yeah, it kind of chomps into it immediately and paying no mind for your fingers, and it kind of looks up moments here and there to kind of look at the rest of you, and it's now starting to kind of make eye contact with the rest of you, almost like just making sure that while it's eating, you're not going to come up and try to steal whatever it's eating. Very kind of like territorial over this scrap of meat, or it's not scrap of meat, this piece of meat that you gave him, Cronus.
So, this is going to be interesting to travel around with.
Mm-hmm. You're gonna need to get like a dragon sling for a little bit, I think, right?
I mean, it seemed to be walking around pretty okay. It's
Yeah, that
but
might be the
it's
problem.
yeah.
These also have the very, very, very real problem that chromatic dragon. It's a chromatic dragon.
I mean,
Nature versus nurture. But yeah, we'll see.
yeah. So
And how quick did dragons grow?
I don't remember. I read that book a long time ago.
So, yeah, I mean, it will be like finally probably start reaching peak, I guess, toddler, adolescent, maybe at like 5 years. It will be. I shouldn't say that. Like, I guess I kind of essentially assume that like a dog, like dog years. I guess it's like 5 years. It kind of reaches a more mature age. It goes from like a wormling to more of like a what I'm trying to think of the thing. I'll look it up real quick. I have it written down somewhere. I don't have it readily available, but yeah, it'll start growing up pretty exponentially in dragon years in size.
I mean, I feel like we got a little bit before it gets out of hand.
Most likely. Question is anyone going to try and kill it while it's young?
That's the real question.
I mean, until I feel like we deem that it's just like truly evil.
No, not us.
I know. But yeah, no. They'll have to pretty much go through me first.
Fair. Well then. Are we taking him to the Pixie Land? Well, that's a dumb question. We are.
I was about to say, like,
Can't leave it here.
I don't know of any dragon daycare laying around here somewhere.
Yeah, no, not specifically.
So yeah, I guess real quick out of character, above the table, I guess there is quite a few. You do have a few. You do guys. Blah, 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 blah. You guys can spend a few days here in town if you'd like. Spend some more downtime here. You guys could head out to Pixie Hollow, right away. Or not. What are you guys thinking? Are you guys looking to spend a few more days here, which we'll probably fast forward a little bit through if we do? Or are you guys looking to head out the day after?
I mean, Cronus needs to do some shopping now.
Yeah, that's true.
So if you want to do shopping for the new dragon, I imagine you're going to need most of the day to kind of really go around and get all the supplies for taking care of this thing and feeding it. Is there anything else that you guys wanted to do before heading to Pixie Hollow? Or I know that the queens will probably want to speak to you, just or check it, kind of give you an update on things that have developed. I believe they said they were going to talk to you before you leave to give you any kind of last minute information on Pixie Hollow that their scholars could find, as they kind of kept digging into it too for you guys.
I'm staying a few days to get some shopping done for everybody, last minute things, and then heading out. Now there's another question that Lorna in character would pose. Did we still want to go see Tal? And she kind of specifically looks at Josel.
You see he was in a good mood.
Oh, fuck.
That, the holiday is now over, and then you mention his name, his face goes sour again.
Cool. I guess we won't go to
I
Tal's
would
tower.
like to say we technically don't have to go see him.
No, we don't.
Because, A, he mainly wants to look at the keys for his own wizard
Benefit.
shit.
Yeah.
But from everything we've heard, if I find a key, I can help, track the other ones. Why it's me, no clue, but
Because
the
you were in
boots, the
that...
bracers, and the tiara said.
That is true.
Yeah, so we won't go see Tal. Sorry for bringing it up, Josel, but... Anywho, I guess, yeah, take a couple of days here, get some last minute shopping done, prepare for traveling, get our boots fixed from walking so much on them. And yeah, I guess we'll head out.
Well, let's first, I guess, we can definitely do all that stuff. We can definitely, yeah, that all can happen. But before that, we will need to resolve how do you guys plan on doing the shopping or taking care of the dragon while you guys start to prepare. Are you just going to walk them outside out in the open? Or are you going to keep them at home while you shop? Are you and go get supplies for him to kind of keep him fed? And let's first break that down.
If only we had a spell disguise him.
I suggest we get a cage and something to cover up the cage when we go out in public.
Yes. Yeah.
Unless you want to spend money at Victor's.
To do what?
I would assume he could make some type of ring or collar he could put around his neck that could disguise him. You may have to be fancy about talking him around it.
This guy's won't do a whole lot of good when he starts flying around doing his own thing, spitting acid on people.
Can he do that yet?
I mean, he already bit me, and
puppies bite.
Yeah.
Ernest and Lorna, you both would know it does have the ability after reading the book last night.
Yeah. Even as
we're going around with a gun.
A what? Like a prime crossbow.
So the question is, we'd have to get if we can even get it in the cage, we're gonna have to make sure the cage is acid resistant.
More proof.
I mean, I don't feel getting in the cage is the hard part. It's still kind of small, and you can manhandle it. It's just gonna bite the hell out of you.
Well,
Have you ever
getting it-
tried just being nice to it and making it your friend first?
Well, yeah. Spent all night with it.
How pissed off does this dragon look?
It's not. You know what? Go ahead and do another animal handling, Cronus. Are you still feeding it while you guys are chatting? I imagine.
Mm-hmm.
If so, go ahead and do it with advantage if you're still feeding it. Yeah, it
24.
seems to be just kind of. You're kind of surprised with just how much food it is kind of eating. It just seems to have a hunger. But it does kind of lift its head up and again just inspects you guys as you just discuss. It seems like it's aware of what you guys are, its surroundings. It's just not mindlessly eating, I guess I should say.
Well, does anyone know how to train a dragon?
No.
Man, through history, has anyone ever actually trained a dragon?
Has anyone ever raised a dragon?
Nope. So at least I don't know of one.
I mean, there might have been one person, surely.
Not that I know of. And I've read a shit ton of books.
Hey kid, why don't you ask your daddy?
You mean the chromatic dragon?
Who are you talking to, Jessel?
He was talking to Faye.
I suppose that could work. There's no guarantee we're gonna get an answer.
How we don't say we did? It's already likely he's going to figure out at some point we have a baby dragon. I'd rather it not be right now, when he can plan more.
He probably already knows.
And you really don't need to tell him, do you?
Did you want to go try to contact your father, Faye? Or not at this time?
Not at this time. But if we want an acid-proof cage, I think the only person we're going to be able to find one from is going to be Victor.
Oh yeah, you're gonna need his help at some point anyway. Whether it's to disguise Umbra or get a nice little house for him.
We probably want to tell Bix about the little baby as well.
Tell Bax.
Yeah, Bix, Bax, same thing.
By the way, not
Gosh,
only
not.
taking care of the elks, now you gotta help take care of a dragon.
Yeah,
Oh,
like
shit.
that kid's kind of a terrible liar.
What
And
are you
nervous
lying
as
about?
shit. Nothing. He just has a nervous disposition about the one thing he cares about at the moment. Imagine
Yeah.
if someone asked him if we had a dragon.
Fair enough.
I mean, we can't keep it hidden from him, but oh boy.
Why not?
So
He's
you guys,
kind of stuck on a girl. I doubt he notices most of us most of the time now.
That is true.
which from I know we didn't bring it up that you did have a slight pass by with Edith last night at the festival, Joe. So go ahead and roll a let me see, memory. Let's go with just in history intelligence. See if you recall it from the night before. You have a fuzzy recollection of a conversation with Edith the night before during ice skating. The details you're not exactly sure, but you remember kind of her saying something and maybe suggesting that you were going to maybe talk with Bax, or maybe he was talking with Edith one, but you're not exactly sure of the details, but you do kind of remember that. Yeah.
I'm supposed to do something today.
Exactly. It's one of those moments.
What was it? That must not be important.
But the rest of you, so you do want to go to Victor's to kind of get some supplies, Cronus?
Yeah.
I can
Are
stay
you
here and
bringing-
watch Umbra if you want.
I mean, probably best before we take them out that we have an idea of how to keep them corralled. I don't know if the cage is necessarily the best idea, but
I don't either. You may actually have to tell Victor what it's for. So good luck with that.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. But if you are staying behind, who's all staying behind at the inn, and who's going out shopping? Or I think everyone had a few things. Are you all just kind of going together, or just going out about doing your own thing for the next few days to kind of get your other things together? And then we'll probably work out the things you want to go at Victor's. Maybe we'll have to do that real quick, just to kind of figure out. You can ask me what you want to, or what you're thinking, and we'll see what we can come up with for you. But is everyone else joining him, or who's staying behind?
I'm staying back to watch the dragon.
I'll stay behind to help.
Okay.
I'll also stay behind because he doesn't want to go anywhere.
Okay. Joseph, actually, quick question: do you keep Ichabod out at all times, and is he like still like on your shoulders when we're like now out on the road?
Usually, yeah.
Okay. So the we'll go. Don't let me forget that. We'll come right back to that. But everyone else, or who else is staying behind?
I'll go with Cronus.
Cronus and Lorna are going shopping, and is that Bart? Are you staying, or are you shopping, or are you going fishing, or?
Staying.
Okay. All right. So you guys do get to Victor's, and yeah, easy enough. You kind of interrupt while it seems like he was in the middle of something. Again, he's got some kind of glitter and dust and all sorts of kind of messes in his clothing and hair, and he comes to the front of the shop to see you guys. He goes, what else can I help you with? I just got you your order a few days ago.
Yeah, actually, want to know if you happen to have a chest of preserving.
A what? A chest of preserving?
Yes.
I believe we do. Let me pull that up. He kind of goes scrambling through his head, looking visibly moving his eyes like he's searching for the answer. Chest of preserving. Of course, you're not going to find that. Preserve.
I just sent it to you.
Thank you. Chest of preserving. Vegetable. Chest of preserving. Okay. Comment. Okay. Yeah, he definitely will have one of those. And he wouldn't be so probably confused by that. It seems like a very common magic item. So, yeah, he definitely has that. I'll just give you the standard common price for it. Let me find one. Okay. I don't really have anything here. One more spot. Oh yeah, okay. So he'll have one of those, and it'll just be 100 gold.
I get it.
And then what else was it?
A cage, acid proof.
That's it.
A cage. He's kind of raising an eyebrow. That's an odd request. Usually we do not, when we're discussing something that's acid proof, we don't usually talk about bars. And I'm spacing on what the materials. It's glass and metal, or no, I'm sorry, glass and copper. Is that right? Was acid resist or can be in? I forget in DnD. There's an actual whatever. Anyways,
I think it was copper. Yeah.
It would probably be easy enough to do though with some minor kind of enchantment work. It wouldn't take me too much time to either see if I have anything or make something like that. He kind of pulls up thinks through his inventory when he has. He goes, I could probably get that made for you for another 150 gold pieces. Or no, how much was the last one?
100?
Yeah, I would just do 100. It's not hard to find a bird cage and
Okay.
slap on what I would imagine is a minor enchantment.
I got that as well.
He goes, well, what kind of size? He's asking you all, like, how big do you need the cage?
Oh god. Could you make it into like a backpack almost as well? Just put like some straps on there.
A backpack. His eyes get even larger. What kind of thing are you trying to haul around in this? What kind of cage?
Well,
Um,
she looks to Cronus.
He's kind of like pondering. I mean, he asked the question, but he doesn't like really pry further.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
press you on it. Like, but he's definitely listening. But he just kind of seems like he's pondering at how kind of to make that. He goes, maybe I can make one that gets can grow to different sizes, but be carryable as well. That's be very challenging. For that, I would have to probably cost you a little bit more, maybe like 200 gold to, and I can make it so it can change different sizes up to, are we talking large birds? Are we talking large lions? Or how large do you need this cage to eventually get? And now he seems to be a little bit more pressing and keen on what your answer is.
Large bird? Very large bird?
Yes. We'll go with a very large bird.
Yeah. But like, what if you made like the back piece a solid piece? So then you wouldn't have to put the acid proof resistance on the straps. And you could just create a cage that like sits on a back. I mean, that's if we want it to be a backpack, Kronos. I just figured you wouldn't want to carry that awkward cage around like that.
No, backpack would probably be.
Yeah.
I could probably find some. If you're thinking a bird cage, I imagine I'm I have a plan, and I could definitely have that done for you in the next day or so. Come back around and I'll before you head out, on to your next location. Please consider leaving me here for a little bit longer before teleporting me. I'm doing great business still here in Sunos.
How
But
about
yeah,
I will only teleport you if one, we absolutely have to have you, or we get to our next large city.
he'll kind nod and just very rudely and abruptly, I guess, kind of go back to his business. He goes, just you know how to use the stone and how to call me. Let me know. Yeah, I'll see you in a day or a few days. And he just kind of finishes up his else he was working on the front of the shop and returns back to the back of it. You see some different colors and lights kind of come as he's tinkering in the back of the shop and messing around in the storage. But yeah, he goes ahead and gives you some of the supplies you need, and he says he'll get you the cage here in a day or so.
Alrighty. I think the only other thing that I would need to get is stop at like a butcher.
Okay. Yeah, you guys would find that kind of stuff. Is there anything else kind of like a special or rare or like custom that you want to get for the dragon before you guys do
Oh,
other things?
should we get him a harness? Or at least get leather work or leather stuff that we can make him a harness?
I mean, that probably is a good idea.
So then we can
I
train him
was
to
just thinking
fly,
about
but
tying
not
a
fly
rope
off.
to it, but the harness
Yeah.
is such a better idea.
Yeah.
How do you describe this leather harness you'd like them to make for you? Well, I guess, are you trying to you're not doing just a leash, you're talking about like an actual thing that would go over its like arms and its wings and stuff. That's what you're trying to consider? Or
Kind of like a
how does
vest that
this...
would go around its chest that I could tie like a rope or something to kind of keep it near me.
I want to see this happen. How do you describe this to your to the artisan that's entertaining the idea of making you this custom harness? He's trying to scratch his head, like, what exactly, like, what kind of animal? Or he's just trying to figure out what you're trying to evolve.
Imagine like a lizard, but about a little bit bigger.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to make sure that I can keep it near me without having to actually hold on to it all the time. Like if I want to take it for a walk, I have an option of doing that.
Yeah, he says, I should be able to make something like that. It wouldn't take too much leather. Come back tomorrow and I'll have a harness created for you. Put that. I'm trying to look up real quick. How much does this cost? Harness. I would imagine this would. I would say this would most likely be exotic because it's for a special kind of animal. Like it's
But it's
custom
itty
work.
bitty. Yeah. But it's tiny, so.
Yeah, that's where I feel like it's a little too much because of the size. That's a little much because of the size that you get, dimensions you give them, but yeah, we'll just say that's gonna cost 40 gold, and the other shopping and stuff. Let's round it all up to you know what, all the shopping and the rest of the supplies that you need for, just, basic supplies for the dragon, with rations or food. Let's just round it up to 60 gold. That should cover everything for you.
Mm-hmm. Also at the butcher, I'm gonna pick up like not a whole bunch of it, but like some other nicer meat that I'm going to be using as treats.
All right. The rest of you, is there anything special that you guys are doing over the next few days, or just kind of enjoying the downtime of the few days?
Oh, I'm trying to make friends with a dragon.
Okay.
I'm helping with that.
All right. Let's go ahead as they're out shopping for the day. Who's all playing with the dragon? Anika and Faye, Josel and Bart. What are you guys doing? Enjoying the fire?
Yeah.
By this time too, you will see, at this time of the day, Bax and his familiar friend Edith will be joining him as he kind of comes late for breakfast, and he kind of comes in and goes, "Hi everyone, I took care of the elks and stuff, and Liam all but fed. I invited Edith over for breakfast again. I hope that's okay." And then as he kind of closes the door behind him when he finishes, he kind of looks at the empty tails like, "Where'd all the cooked meat go?" And he turns around to ask you guys, and he sees Anika and Faye playing with the dragon, and he's
We may have to
kinda
hire
shocked.
her.
Yeah.
Edith is kind of wide-eyed as well. She goes, and they both kind of seem stunned, like and then Edith will finish Bax's sentence and say, "Is that a dragon?"
No,
What are you
it's a
talking about?
puppy. Yes, it's a dragon.
Yeah. Yeah.
She seems to be at a loss for words. I was not expecting that for breakfast, or see that at breakfast.
It is one of the weirder things we've had around at breakfast, yes.
She'll kind of come over and she goes, she'll ask actually, may I come closer and look at it? When Bax does seem he doesn't really seem as interested, but he will kind of tag along reluctantly in fear of looking like a wimp if he doesn't.
Sure.
Sure.
And Umbra is kind of giving her the same kind of cold shoulder, playing nice at the moment, but not really. Doesn't seem very cuddly towards anyone at the moment. What do you guys like to do with the dragon to try to win them over, or win them over? Or what kind of things are you liking to do with them?
Well, it's a baby. But Cronus didn't seem to know whether it was male or female yet, did he?
I don't necessarily think that's going to help us right now.
Yeah.
Play
They kind of do what?
So, like, if you have a cat, when you're trying to get them interested in something, you like move it around as if it were alive or a creature, so that it kind of gets interested in it.
Actually, what are you
Whatever.
using to? What are you using to try to use that? Just like a piece of fabric, or?
I was thinking whatever meat's left, if there is any left.
No, Bax is pretty upset that you guys,
Mm.
but what you guys didn't eat, the dragon finished for you.
Then yeah,
But
just like a piece of fabric or something.
it doesn't seem very interested in you kind of waving the fabric at its face. In fact, it finds it a little insulting. But as you kind of flap the fabric in its face to kind of get its attention, to coax it or anything, its eyes will catch something else that seems interesting in the room, and he kind of seems to be locked in on Ichabod, that is riding on Josel's shoulder. You
Oh,
see it
no.
kind of eventually see
Oh,
it,
no.
and you know, like what are they called? Like those monitor lizards. They're big and they're wide stance, but like they can run and their head doesn't fucking move. So its wings kind of widen out as it kind of notices Ichabod, and it will kind of like start kind of moving and trying to gain some speed out of its where it was currently sitting at with you guys. So it's trying to like run through your legs, Faye and Anika, and towards the fireplace area where Josel and Bart are sitting.
Oh no.
I'm gonna say out loud in a relatively loud enough so that the other two can hear me voice. Dragon incoming, and then I'm gonna
Yo.
minor illusion Ichabod, but like further to the side of the room, so like in the corner.
Okay. Let me do a check for Ichabod, or not Ichabod, Umbra. What were you gonna say, Josel? I heard you starting to say something.
Yo.
Is it intelligence or is it insight
It'd
or
be
it's
investigation, so intelligence.
intelligence. Okay, well, that's a whopping 0.
Yeah, against my spell DC. No.
Nope. It kind of gets confused at the new illusion that is kind of at a different angle, but it seems a lot more accessible than than the real Ichabod, who's perched on Josel's shoulder. So it takes the easier of the two prey, and it goes after the illusion that you just created. Where did you create that illusion again?
Like in the corner.
Okay, and it kind of heads over the corner and looks like it's kind of cornering it itself like it's true prey and it hasn't struck yet. What do you guys want to do before it attacks the illusion?
I'm gonna kind of like fluff his wing. Wait, is Ichabod an owl right now?
Yes.
It's gonna like fluff his wings out because I think I can have it move. Nope, that's Mage Hand. I'm reading the wrong freaking cantrip.
You can't move a minor
I
illusion.
cannot, yeah. I can make it. I don't think I can end it either. It just lasts for a minute.
I will unsummon Ichabod. Boom, problem solved.
Yep.
That
So
would
there's
help.
just a fake Ichabod in the corner for a bit.
Yeah. As soon as he attacks it, he kind of gets frustrated that it's that's not really real, and he kind of looks around the room, confused. He's still very young, or he's a baby. He's still trying to figure everything out, but he's quickly figuring out his surrounding and his environment. That some people can't be trusted, apparently.
He has no idea.
I know. He has
He
no
doesn't
clue
know
what
who did
happened.
it.
He's very confused at in the fake owl. He looks back at his original target and sees that you dispatched Ichabod, and it just seems kind of bored with it again. Kind of looking back over to where it originally was at with you and Anika and Faye and Bax and Edith, and it will kind of return back to its little nook where it was just setting up. Not really acknowledging you guys so much, but it just kind of seems like it's lounging, if you will. What else would you guys like to do, or just kind of continue trying to? So, is there anything else you guys would like to try to do or work with Umbra over the next few days, or today in this current situation?
Note to self: keep Ichabod away from Umbra.
Yeah. I'm just gonna try and keep getting it so that he trusts me, but other than that, no.
Okay, we'll do some additional checks as we kind of fast forward through time as well to kind of see how he's growing, and we'll kind of find opportunities to role play that out here and there. While you guys continue to play and try to win over the dragon, Bax will eventually kind of part from the group and will step over to talk to you, Josel, and Bart next to the fire. He kind of addresses you both, and he goes, Mr. Modal, and he goes, Captain Bart, oh shoot. How do you, he kind of stumbles over his titles for you a little bit, Bart. And he'll just kind of bring up what Edith had asked you during skating last night. He says, Edith told me this last evening that she had brought up the idea of maybe if we could hire her to come along and help us on the trip. And she just really and he kind of explains this, that she's not, doesn't really have any family in the area, and she's kind of on her own here, and that he's kind of growing fond of her. It's kind of probably the first time he's honestly just fessed up to it versus just kind of like being sheepish about it. But he still seems kind of unsure of his request to you, but he's kind of looking to see if you would be interested in inviting her, or if he could invite her along the way.
Bax. I remember when I was your age. I was as stupid as you were.
So you understand, like, right? Yeah, right, Miss Merle. So but it's not just that she's beautiful and sweet and wonderful, but she's really good at stuff. Like she's telling me all about these different things and elixirs and medicine, home remedies that she's used. Over. She just seems like I can listen to her talk to me about it forever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, you know what I'm saying, right, Miss Captain Bart?
Take out some rope and cut a bit of it off, and I'll toss it to him and say, "Tie me a bowline."
Huh? He looks kind of confused at you. You tossed it to Bax, right?
I tossed him an adequate string of rope. Tie me a
Okay.
bowline.
Let's see. Would he know how to do a bowline? Okay, yeah, sure. He's knows how to tie a few knots, so he'll do his best. What do you think of his work with that 13?
It's probably okay.
Okay. He kind of looks confused at you, and then back to you, Josel, and then back to you, Bart. Like, what does the rope have to do with this?
It'll be useful on the seas, at the very least.
I think there might be confusion. Bax is already your follower. He's trying to ask you about the girl Edith.
Well, I thought that is she here with us? Because then she has to tie the bowline.
She's with the dragon. He kind of stepped off to the side. So she had approached Josel last night, and he's kind of following up with you guys in the morning about what she had asked the night before.
Well, old man. Well, no, old man. Well, young man, why do you think she can't come with us?
You know,
Oh no, I'm talking to Josel.
Oh, sorry. Do we lose Josel?
I didn't catch that. I thought someone was still talking.
He was talking to you. He asked you.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead, Bart. Sorry.
Well, young man, what reasons you have she can't come with us?
I don't know, I just got a funny feeling.
Well, his instincts are pretty good.
He's
Honest,
asking you guys.
I don't really see no reason even having her around anyway. I mean, we don't really. I mean, we got ways of healing ourselves. The only reason I hired Bax is because we can't tend to the horses, or in this case, the elks, while we're, you know, doing battle somewhere else.
Yeah, I mean, so out of character about the game is it? So I mean, what he shared with you in her skills and talents is simply that she may be able to do things with plant life in the area to maybe make some basic potions or other kind of antidotes or things of that nature, but nothing like massive, like you know,
On the,
you know.
well, now,
We
boy,
got
you
a
know
healer
where
in the
we're
party.
headed
We got
next,
2
don't
healers in
you?
the party.
Oh,
Mm.
sorry. Go ahead. What was that, Howard?
We got 2 healers in the party.
Yeah, like she's saying that.
Like together we make one.
Yeah.
Well, boy, you heard the young man. His instincts are pretty good. And do you know where we're headed next?
I understand. I just really, really wanted to hang out with her a little bit more. So he goes, well, let me know if you guys change your mind. He goes, how many days do we have left here? I'll just try to make the best of it before we head out.
We're leaving in 4 hours.
Fuck! I like
You're
this
going, boy.
job. Ugh. All right. He seems defeated, and he's kind of, but he's trying to keep I guess a stiff upper lip and just kind of walk away. And yeah. So as he walks away, he kind of puts a fake smile back on as he sees Edith and rejoins Anika and Faye playing with the dragon. And then yeah, that's I'm sorry, is there anything you guys want to do as he walks away that you guys want to privately discuss, or just kind of hang out and enjoy the rest of the few days off?
Yep.
You got to be so harsh to. You got to be so harsh to him.
Here's the thing. Do you not find it kind of strange that she was the lone survivor of an attack, and she's not really the combatant type?
Well, I am the sole survivor
Yeah, but
of
you're
a battle
a
against the
fighter.
Kraken, and I went insane for quite a while.
Oh, also, you're not exactly alive either, so there's that.
A rotten undead might come to tear your heart out at any moment. You're gonna cut me down, boy.
I mean, if you were a lich, maybe, yeah.
It's better to have less people. It's better to have less men on an already full ship, I say. But maybe
Just
don't
saying,
be.
the whole thing just seems off. And I don't want no one stabbing me in the back.
Or have you considered that he has something for the girl?
Say that again.
Or have you considered that maybe he has something for the girl? Maybe that's why he's wanting to come.
I know that's why he wants her to come. It's just
Well,
people don't think straight when they're like that. And we both know that he didn't think straight before. I mean, remember the giant spider incident? That didn't go well.
well, true enough.
And now there's going to be another person involved.
And we are heading to a place that isn't exactly friendly to our types. Well,
I mean, he knew what he signed up for when he took this job.
aye.
He knows that there's going to be a lot of moving around. There was probably not going to be a whole lot of personal uh, personal living, if that makes any sense, until actually the job itself is completed, which we don't know when that's going to be. Now, if he wants to stay with her, fine. You know, we can just find someone else to tend to the elks, and he could stay with her, whatever. But I just don't trust her.
Well, I trust your instincts. So, for now, you got me backing. But if the others want to outvote us, then, that's on them.
Plus, I didn't agree on taking any more hirelings.
Mm. Might be for the better if we go into a dark and damp dungeon. Some people to throw in the front, but I get your meaning.
Well, if I want to throw people in the front, I want people that can actually fight.
And she can't fight, so. Huh. Well, being an old man, well, relatively speaking, why not try and teach her? Because see, people are less likely inclined to stab you in the back, per se, when they owe you.
Or that just makes them better at stabbing.
Don't really think much of the girl. I've been around the unsavory types myself. And I know an unsavory backstabber lollygagger when I see one. Sure, she's a bit silly. She ain't that.
I've traveled many places, did a lot of things. I met a lot of people. I've learned one thing is you don't judge people by how they appear or how they present themselves, because that could be deceiving.
Well, all right. Yeah, that should be it.
Yep. I mean, Howard, are you wanting to, do you guys want to talk? You guys can do whatever you like to do. Do you guys want to talk to Edith, or do you want to, are you guys good? It's fine
Bart,
either way. I just,
Bart
I,
would probably
I
talk to her.
sense some
Yeah.
hesitation.
Yeah,
And
we
Bart
can
would talk to her,
interrogate her.
yeah.
I mean, talk to her.
No, not you. You're just going to be like, that's a lie.
Slams his hands on the table. Liar!
Just pressing, it's like playing Phoenix Wright and pressing objection at all the wrong times.
Be good cop, bad cop.
Yeah, Bart would talk to her.
So you away from Howard or from Joe Salon?
Yeah, you probably get a private moment. Yeah, you'd probably wait until like a private moment, so to say.
Okay. You, uh, so not okay. So she will be. She's currently over there next to Bax. You know, tending and playing or trying to amuse, I guess, the dragon. Are you wanting to take her to the side right now, or just later on as it presents itself throughout the day?
Later on, he gives him time to fish and then throw whatever he catches at the dragon as like a distraction.
Let's go ahead and so are you pretty much gonna head at? Well, let's come back to that, and we'll do some checks to see what kind of fish you catch or how many fish you catch. Back over to Anika and Faye. You do see a kind of a smiling backs. Go ahead and actually do insight checks, Anika and Faye. See how you guys proceed. If you can read through his kind of fake smile.
All right, insight checks.
Please. Anika, you definitely pick up on it. You're not not exactly sure, but you just you don't know what's going on or that he's upset. It's just that it's not his natural smile. Same with you, Faye. You guys just understand that it's not his natural smile. It's kind of one of those fake ones. But he's otherwise it seems interested in what's going on with this dragon. He's like, when did we get a dragon?
I don't know. They've had the egg since before I joined. Where did you get a dragon egg?
Well, same place we found Wolfram from, and the place I pointed the horn. The same place this first appeared.
So some weird place that was underground and had like 1,000-year-old warforged in it?
That was underneath it, yes.
Yeah.
We also fought a bunch of werewolves there.
That part I didn't know.
Yeah,
I don't know. We just sort of collect
chief,
weird shit.
wolf.
But Bax, what's with your face?
What's with your face?
I'm not the one who has a weird smile on his face.
Oh, nothing at all. So how many days are we gonna spend here?
That depends on how long it takes Cronus and Lorna to get dragon traveling things. So at least today.
Well, there's a few things that we need to probably get to. That Edith, this is I wasn't expecting the dragon to deal with today, but we still had other plans. What do you want to do? She seems really just excited about the dragon. She just was like, I've never seen anything like this in my world. I never imagined to see anything like this. And you guys have been working on. So I'm gonna go ahead and need. She's gonna do roll an animal handling check, but I need animal handling checks from you guys because you've been working with the dragon for a little bit too.
I'm going to give myself guidance. Let me roll that d4. 26.
13.
13. Go ahead and do. All right. So it's kind of inspecting your hand a little bit, Anika. Sniffing it. It's kind of now assuming you guys not necessarily as prey or enemies, but that you guys come with food, and so it's kind of just reacting to your attention and stuff a little bit. It's not willing to kind of climb up on you. You're not too much bigger than you're not too above the food chain at this current moment. But he kind of looks at.
He's like a foot long.
I know. But he's like, you know what? A few years from now, you're an appetizer. He will get a little bit more animated though. As Faye it really seems to coax him out of its kind of more cold animal side, and it seems to be a little bit more personable at this moment as you speak to it in Draconic, and you kind of say a few words, just kind of talking it and trying to comfort it and get to adjust to you. It will eventually kind of walk over, approach you, smelling you a little bit. It will kind of it'll close enough to check you out, and like it will stand up kind of like a dog when you're sitting down, and it perches up on your leg to kind of check you out when you're sitting there, and then it kind of just sits back down on the ground and does its thing. So as you're kind of there talking to it, it'll try to stand itself up, prop itself against your leg to get to stand itself up, kind of sniffing you, checking you out, looking around the area before kind of becoming disinterested and going back down to the floor. He also will entertain Edith as she spends some time with you guys over there with the dragon.
I'll give Umbra some chin scritches when it uses me to stand up.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. It reacts. It recoils briefly, but it will tolerate for the moment before dropping down. Just for the moment, though. Yeah. Anything else you guys want to do before? Before we kind of skip forward.
No, I'm good.
Well, I think I'm probably going to use that scroll tonight. I think I got my questions thought out, just in case the first one I get a no answer on it. Any questions anyone wants me to ask Illustrate about?
What scroll and what are you asking who?
I have a commune scroll. I'm going to use it to contact Illustrate. I can ask 3 yes or no questions.
Okay. So what are you asking?
Well, after our encounter with that fortune teller and then what Will said, I want to know if my biological father is actually alive or not. And who else but a goddess might know?
Isn't the assumption your biological father is a dragon?
It's complicated.
But isn't that the assumption?
There's a little bit of his and hers.
Because if your biological father's a dragon, no, he's not. The only live dragon we know of is this one.
True.
They've been dead for like centuries.
I assume I have a humanoid parent somewhere. Otherwise, I'd probably look even more like Cronus and an elf.
Sure. And I can't really. 30. Yeah. So, okay. What else are you gonna ask?
Well, if the answer is yes, I'm going to ask if he's working for the Dark One.
You might want to narrow down and say her name instead of the dark one.
The evil bitch.
No, Empress. Evil bitch is too broad.
Fair enough, the evil Empress.
Wait, didn't I know she had an actual name?
Do we know her actual name?
It does.
I
Yeah,
do.
you guys would know.
Because I did a while ago. I did stuff on the hags, and she was one of them, or she took them down.
Griselda.
Yeah,
It's a
her name was
very,
Griselda.
very I don't want to. I think it's a very I don't know, unpleasant name. I don't know.
Yeah, Griselda was the Empress.
I mean,
She's part draconic and giant. Oh, that's odd. And a fun fact I just remembered.
let me see.
Oh, I know. She fought the
Wait.
dragons and the giants in battle. I can't read my own handwriting.
Yeah, there are some notes in there. I'm trying to read them because sometimes I throw things in these things, and yeah, I don't think them all the way through.
So, like, she was actually pretty good, and then she became a bitch. Which is kind of after she defeated the hags, so like, might be their fault. But yeah, you might want to use her name. Like, you do serve Illustre, but just about anything can be cagey if they want to.
That is fair. And a third question. That's the one I'm torn on. I could ask if Quill is actually related, but hopefully not.
Take a damn thing he says at face value.
True.
Then what was the other one you wanted to ask?
I mean, guess one question we could ask. I could ask. That's the question. That's really torn. If we could ask something that could help us.
Is Lorna and Cronus a couple?
We don't need a god for that one.
We already know.
They don't hide it well. I mean, why else
No
would Lorna
comment.
run around in the middle of the night to get a chicken?
I mean, you're not wrong.
Well, as you guys discuss, excuse me.
Well, what you could
go ahead.
do, theoretically, because we're assuming the pixies are going to help, but like asking the god that can still be a little iffy. Lorna never got around, as far as I know, to talking to the. Hang on, is Baxton his girl still here?
You know, we're just talking to each other. We're talking about heading out to stick to the other plans before you guys are playing with the dragon. It seems like they've got re-synced, hooked back into the dragon for a little bit, but you know, they'll play with it a little bit longer, like probably just a little while if you wanted to hang out and have this conversation once they leave. Is that what you would prefer?
When do you start this conversation, Faye?
I was probably going to do it tonight.
No, when do we start this conversation?
Oh, this conversation?
Yeah.
Probably when.
Are you having this conversation right there in front of as you guys are playing with the dragon and hanging out with Bax?
I really just need to know if Enith is around when we have this conversation.
Probably wait until she's preoccupied and not listening.
Okay.
I'm still going to switch languages to Undercommon. You say,
Yep,
well,
we're doing it in Undercommon.
Lorna
Bax
never got
off the side talking about what they're gonna do for the day. Bax
still.
is obviously upset about only having 1 day left in Sunos.
Lorna never did get around to talking to the girl. And more than one person mentioned that she might be evil. You can find out
You
if
want me
she's
to
working for
ask?
someone against
You,
us.
you want me to ask a goddess if Edith is trustworthy?
Essentially. Or if she's working with someone against us. Or if she is against us.
All right.
Because, I mean, look at him. I don't think I've seen Bax show any emotion other than nervousness and slight terror until we got here.
I know. It's very odd.
Good.
Almost like he's under a spell.
Or like he's not scared for his life.
I mean, how many times have we put him into danger?
Technically once.
Well, I'll let you guys continue to kind of chat about what you want to ask your goddess the evening. So Bart, you will have a brief moment where you'll see that Bax has kind of excused himself to take care of a few things before they go out and do their errands and activities. Edith kind of being kind of alone at the moment, not really in a Nika-based conversation, or your Josel's kind of heads back over to the dining area to go fetch herself a glass of water and just kind of make herself, just unobtrusive to everyone else. So if you'd like to approach her, have your conversation with her, you could have the opportunity now, or we could wait till later.
Yeah, let's go ahead and do the fishing stuff now, and then see what I got.
Okay.
Because then
So you want-
that'll just be like tossed to the little dragon.
I'm sorry, I thought you said you wanted to talk to Edith off to the side, have a
I did.
sidebar with her.
I did.
You
I
just
thought
want
we
to do it
were
later.
like, well,
Much later.
I thought that during that time I would have been fishing, is what I thought. During the
Gotcha.
time waiting. Yeah.
Okay, yep, fair enough. Sorry, I'm trying to keep some of these things that happen at the same time where, like, okay, well, Cronus went and took off shopping. While he was shopping today, you guys were doing this at the house.
Yeah.
That makes sense. So what you're saying, so you would be out fishing and stuff. So
And then he would
you
come
won't.
back.
Okay, so that'll be probably later in the day. You'll probably catch Bax and Edith on your way back from fishing. So let's come back to that real quick. So just back to everyone that's present and inside of the room. Does anybody else want to do any last minute things before we kind of move to later on in the day and then so forth?
No, I don't think Lorna has anything. Just packing up on general supplies. I don't think she needs any more weapons.
Actually, like on the way back from the stopping trip, can I make an attempt, like if I see like a squirrel or like a rat, try to catch it?
Let's see if you can find a squirrel. You are actively looking for one, or just in case something happens along your way?
Like kind of just along the way, just keep an eye out.
So do a perception check. See if anything catches your eye that's accessible. You see a few things. You're not so quite certain if it would be as easy snatch, but a few birds of various different colors. Still kind of here and there. They're kind of tucked in the corners and different little pockets of the buildings where they built kind of nests and they're trying to keep warm for typical seasons, you will see some other kind of small critters, but they're quite a distance away. Nothing that is really within the immediate reach of attempting to grab. You could try to pursue one of these creatures if you wanted to. You just
No.
be probably a survival check to. Well, no, that to actually catch it would probably be athletics or acrobatics to catch up to it. Various different checks will probably be involved.
Yeah. No, it's he'll probably go out and do that at some point later.
Okay. Luckily, you have some people in your group, I think, that have experience with trapping. You guys just did it actually in Espa when you guys were looking for displaced beasts and stuff. I forget who set those traps. Is that you, Lorna, or
Yes,
was
that was
Josel?
me. Was it me? Yeah.
That's right.
Oh,
I
yeah.
had traps. Yeah, I remember I bought traps.
Gotcha. All right. So yeah, they'll finish up in the house. Eventually, Bax and Edith will go. Bax will help Edith with her coat. They'll say their farewells to you in Anika, Faye, and Joseph. They'll like, so they see everyone. And they go off to do their errands and spend whatever time they got left. Yep, it's just the three of you left in that house having the conversation about your goddess, what you'd like to ask her that evening. Bart, go ahead and roll me a survival check. Let me see, what is that magic item? I gotta look at it again. I think it's in fishing or in the handouts, maybe.
By holding this fishing rod, blah blah blah. I'll have advantage on ability checks to catch fish while using it. So.
Okay, I think fishing. I guess it would be. Let's see. Let me look at the abilities. Survival, animal handling. Let's go with survival. Just your wisdom to know where the fish are and feel it out and kind of guess where they're at. All right. You definitely catch quite a few fish. Largest of the one is large enough to feed the entire group, and it catches the eye of quite a few other bystander fishermen. It's kind of this beautiful blue color with green kind of tipped fins, and kind of an ugly face with three some eyes, and it has a few little sharp teeth, but not enough to really hurt. Good for preying on smaller fish, but not so much for anything larger than itself. What would you like to do with the fish?
I'll probably take it on back nonetheless.
Okay. One of the dock hands is more than entertained by this massive haul that he will actually offer to help kind of wheel it back for you. He does it voluntarily, but he's obviously kind of working for tips. But it is of course free. He's just kind of talking you up. He's younger one, just kind of getting excited. He goes, how did you become such a good fisherman? You don't talk a lot, do you? He goes, where'd you get the cool hat?
Well, had this hat for a while. Got it on me first ship.
Oh, a ship? You have a ship out in the harbor? Here, Sunos?
Like to keep it close at hand, like take out the little toy boat.
Toy! And he gets excited. He drops the cart that he's carrying with the fish.
Oi.
He goes, I would love a toy.
This ain't no toy.
He's very confused. It's clearly a toy.
You see, this here is a magic boat. Can turn into a tiny little toy ship, but when I speak the magic word, it turns into a great vessel.
He kind of looks at you, looks back at the boat, looks at you, looks back at the boat. I ain't gonna get a tip out of this trip, am I?
No, you're not. Not with that attitude.
I would have always got to pick the weirdos, and he kind of picks up the cart and just starts following you behind further along on your way back to the end. You will catch Edith and Bax kind of heading out on their own. Bax is stopping in front of a storefront where they sell different kind of desserts. They're still got some holiday fare out and about. They stop for a quick conversation in front of the store. And is there anything you'd like to do, or?
Probably pull Edith aside. Here a moment, lass.
I guess she kind of looks, and Bax just kind of looks over at you, Barton, and just wait. Oh, hi, hi, Captain. And then he said, "I'm going to go in here and get some more snacks and treats for us. But I'll be right back. You want anything? You want anything, Bart? Pie?
Be fine, boy.
Okay, all right." And he just kind of walks away and goes inside and starts to place his order. She kind of turns back and goes, "Captain Bart, is it?"
Aye. You be Miss Edith.
Mm-hmm.
Now, firstly, you been with the little bugger all day, you know. Look back to the cart. You think you could make a dent in that fish?
She kind of looks back at it and says, "What do you mean, clean it?" "Of course."
No, the dragon. You think you could? You think you could make a dent in all that fish?
The dragon fans? I mean, that dragon's gonna eat probably a good chunk of it. Seeing what it was kind of left over from breakfast, I imagine it could eat quite a fair bit.
Nonetheless, got some questions for you. See, the young man, Josel, he seems to not really take a liking to you, and I'm not really sure as to why.
Well, I understand. I mean, I meant to know kind of imposition. Maybe it was too bold of me to ask. With my former what's the correct word for this? What would this be? Who's someone that someone as an apprentice to? I guess not master. He's not.
No, generally it's a master.
No. Like she's an apprentice to him. Like she's learning the trades and learning different things for them to become
an apprentice.
She's the apprentice. I'm trying to think what they call
Master would be the right word.
Mentor?
Like a master herbologist, yeah.
Yeah,
like
she'll
master bladesmith, blacksmith, yeah.
She'll just say her former employers have no longer. She's like, I got to trying to find a new apprenticeship. I'm pretty handy, and I've always seemed to land on my feet, though. I really, again, mean no imposition. I'm sorry that if it was too much of an ask of Bax, I really will be in no
Not
no
making
poor
a good
shape.
case for yourself in being able to go. Worst thing I hate is a negative attitude.
She's like, "Oh, I definitely could hold my own and go, but I didn't want to be a bother to keep pressing the matter. If there's something something I could do to put your mind at ease, to show you how I'm capable, I definitely can. What were you thinking?
He'll hand her one of his daggers and hold one of the fish up close to his face. You hit that or you hit me.
She originally she takes the dagger at first and pretend and looks like she's getting ready to kind of fillet a fish, and then you do this whole throw the dagger at me or the fish. That's correct understanding, right?
Yeah.
Okay. She seems very nervous at the request. The most amazing marksman. She'll take the dagger. I imagine you want her to take a step or so away from you to kind of get a good throwing distance.
Yeah.
And she just looks very nervous. She goes, I really don't want to hit you, Captain Bart. Are you really sure there's something a little bit less dangerous we could try?
You hit me or you hit the fish. Come on now, we don't got all day.
Okay. It's a smaller target. I would say it probably puts it about a 16. About, let me just look up something comparable, I guess. No, they don't have fish. They have piranha. We figured that out last time. How do you spell piranha?
Oh, they have.
It'd be under Quipper.
You guys spoke at the same time. I'm sorry. What?
It'd be under Quippers.
Quipper. That's what it is. Well, the problem you can quip it.
They come up with funny one-liners.
13.
Oh,
Wow. So even lower. Here we go. She'll kind of take your request and nervously take a step back, and you'll kind of see her take a breath in, close her eyes, take like a long pause, just a moment to herself, open them again, and kind of focus in, just try, and she'll throw the dagger. Let's see how she does. A miss will be right at you. Even if she did have proficiency, it probably wouldn't be good. So the dagger goes right past the fish and close to your arm as you were holding it out. Or were you holding it right in front of you? I'm sorry.
I was
Like
holding it like right
right.
up in. I would probably hold it up in front of my good eye.
Okay. Okay, yeah. So it comes. You see the dagger kind of be released, but it doesn't look like it's heading for the fish, Bart. You clearly see it starting to head south of the fish, like it's gonna go a good few inches south of it. It's not, the broadside of a barn, but it's a few inches shy, and it's gonna be right aiming for your chest.
Okay. Would I be able to do like a dex check to try and catch it?
Yeah, absolutely. Go for it. This is not like a normal kind of attack. I would totally allow or some kind of reaction if you're trying to like sidestep or avoid it, whatever you want to try.
Say a dex check or a saving throw?
What are you trying to do? I'm trying to catch it. If you're trying to catch
Yeah,
it,
trying
let's
to
just
catch the
do
dagger.
a dex saving throw then.
11.
Yeah, you catch it as it kind of goes south. You use the other free hand to kind of grab it right before it becomes a little more dangerous trick. She just immediately turns red. She goes, "I'm so sorry. She goes, I'm not really." Yeah.
That is some poor marksmanship. Only way you're going to get better is with some practice.
Yeah, that's kind of what my master always said. My previous one. Uh,
And you need someone to teach you anyway. So, I am be so I'll be doing not much during our journey there. And I figure you're not going to be doing much besides looking after that little dragon. And it will put him at ease, and it will put the young man, Josel, at ease if he were to see that I had you under watchful eye.
are you sure that that won't be a problem with with Josel?
Well, if it's a problem with him, he's going to have to take it up with me, isn't he?
Indeed, Captain Bart. How would you? She kind of looks. How do you want to be? How should I address you, Captain?
Captain is fine.
She'll kind of look excited for the moment, and she'll try to kind of contain herself and be modest. But she'll be like, uh, Max will be, I'm sure, excited to hear the news.
Aye.
Thanks for taking me on and teach me a thing or two. Um, so what would you like to do right now, Bart? Would you like her to immediately kind of come with you, or have anything else that you would like to do with her, or are you going to leave her be with behind with Bax and the rest of their day bait?
You'd leave him behind and head on back to the inn with all the fish.
Gotcha. You head on, continue on. The boy that's pulling the fish behind you is kind of like, what was that about? Before you get off the street and head further on back to your end, you'll hear the tail end of Bax kind of coming out with a dessert and some kind of mumbling. It's a little too far in the distance, but you will then hear an excited shout coming from a familiar voice of Bax as you kind of turn the corner and continue your walk back home. The boy will bring the big fish to your door and say, "You're on the second floor, aren't you?"
Aye.
And
Hope you got you a bag, my son.
he just kind of looks at you begrudgingly and gets to work trying to lug this fish in for you and help you out get it into the place. The kitchen offers. Do you need to cut a place to clean that, sir?
Aye, go right ahead.
Wait, you want the help to cut it up or cook it for you?
Yeah, yeah, it's their job. You'd have them do it.
Indeed. And the help will kind of start going around and getting it, and they're kind of like, I know that the royal family's taking care of their stay, but these guys are kind of over being dicks. I'm just kidding. But
Bart doesn't like royalty anyway, so.
There you go. So they'll get to work on the fish as you kind of return and rejoin the rest of the others who are still hanging out.
Before the kid carrying the cart left, he would have nonchalantly dropped a platinum piece in front of him and said, "Oh, looks like I dropped a silver."
He will eyes will light up and just pick it up. He goes, "I'll see you at the docks tomorrow," and just runs out, grabs the wagon, and his sluggish footsteps have quickly been re-energized at a quickened pace, like when you first met the boy. Is there anything else anyone would like to do before we kind of start skipping forward through the next few days as you guys continue picking up the rest of your supplies and belongings and other kind of arrangements that you've made before heading further out?
No?
All right. Okay. So a few days go by as you guys enjoy some snowy days in Sunos. You still kind of still see some holiday flair, but some shops are starting to kind of tone it down. There's still plenty of lights and candles, but maybe not as much red and green, or combined everywhere. But it's still very much so the holiday in this area. But people are just kind of settling in now and preparing for the new year, actually, which is not too many more days ahead of you. You spend your time collecting your different and completing your different affairs, and it would take probably to finish everyone's kind of different arrangements. I think we said there was like a day here, a day and a half, or another thing. So say that you guys hang out here for another 3 days total before where you guys really start to think that you're going to start preparing to head off. Edith is doing a little bit of not just socializing with Bax and stuff, but she is kind of being more attentive to any kind of direction that you have or anything that's special that you need her to take care of directly for you, Captain Bart. But otherwise, they kind of, she's also enjoying the kind of getting to know the group, and also enjoying the baby dragon that you guys have had. Let's go ahead and just do one animal handling check for now, but we'll do some more as we play and do different things with the dragon. But anyone that's trying to get familiar with the dragon or try to just kind of not bitten by the dragon, go ahead and roll an animal handling check for me, please.
Giving myself guidance.
I think I've asked this a million times.
I will use luck.
Wisdom.
I don't re-roll the d4, so that is a 19 plus 3, 22.
15.
Now they're doing good. Back's not so much. So, here, 10, okay, 15, more than 20, 20, 22.
Oh, no, Face is 22. I don't re-roll the d4 on luck.
Oh, okay. So just a 19. 10,
19 plus a 3.
19 plus, so 20, 23. Or 22, I'm sorry. No one. Okay. Okay, so everyone's good except for Bax and Cronus. Again, a little bit more nips and stuff. Not so much wanting to be held. Definitely not interested in that harness. That's actually a big fuck you if you try to put that harness on. He will definitely try to bite and claw. Especially with a 10. Do you want to try again over the next few days and get that harness around that dragon?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's but I'd also try to use some of the special treat meat to try to con him into it.
Mm-hmm.
I
You should
would
try bacon grease. Put it on the harness.
no, because then he's going to eat the
Do a
harness.
sleight of hands check for me. See how well you hide the harness while you're trying to distract it with delicious meat.
I was going to say before he did that, could I have distracted it with meat while he was putting it on?
Yeah, we'll go ahead and give that advantage.
Okay.
We're trying to pull this ruse off on him.
Yeah.
Let's see
24.
what he thinks. This is insight, which is wisdom, so I think that's a 0 for him. Yep, he falls for it. Or wait, no, it's not. It would be perception, not which is still wisdom, actually.
Still wisdom.
Right? Okay, so yeah, he still rolled like shit. So Cronus, you do get food in front of him and distract it, and to get another attempt or get close enough to attempt to try to get it on him. go ahead and if you're trying to not fight him, I guess it would be another animal handling check. If you're trying to wrestle him, this is going to be more of an athletics check.
Alright, I'm gonna try to do this like calmly so I don't like destroy the trust that this thing might have.
Okay.
So
It's currently kind of eating out of the food that Lauren has baited his attention with.
16. Animal handling.
Okay. How you roll again? He is attentive and tolerant to you, but he, as soon as you start kind of trying to, he's okay with you trying to get his attention and warm him up to the idea, but as soon as he sees the harness, he's still like, I'm not doing that. And he starts to kind of, do that kind of screechy noise, roar as he kind of like tries to do his bite kind of at you with the harness as you try to kind of keep pushing it on him. He just looks kind of he looks like he's kind of getting back to being aggravated.
Yeah, let's work on the harness. We can at least keep him in the cage for now, but maybe we do just start showing him the harness and every day just kind of keep it around him, and eventually maybe he'll actually get curious about it. And we'll
Either that or
you force it on him.
I could force it on him, or I could just feed him some meat with like drow poison on it and knock him out.
No.
You don't think so?
Probably a terrible idea.
Yeah.
A pet moment
Have
or
you-
a child moment?
Stunning strike.
Just so I know how to react.
You've never tried to clothe a child, have you, Cronus? You
For
clearly,
literally anything else at this
you
moment.
clearly haven't had
Well,
younger
to be
siblings.
fair, we're not dealing with a normal child, are we?
No, but even then, screaming children can be a handful.
I mean, the child that is drugged out would not be a handful. That's
yes,
just the point I'm trying to make.
but that's
I need
that's
if you
when,
ever become a father to teach you not to do that.
I mean, he is technically a father now.
That's even more terrifying.
I know.
Are you sure I don't see the resemblance?
No, not at all.
I mean, this dragon has not punched anything yet, so.
Yet.
I
I mean, it's
is the
only a
keyword.
couple days old.
What, weren't you punching by
Give it
then?
a chance.
Oh, when did you start?
You may not want to teach it to punch things. Didn't these things used to try to eat people, take over the world?
I mean, it's going to need to know how to defend itself.
Eventually.
People are going to try to kill this thing.
Let's
Yeah,
first...
we're not really gonna win that fight, Bart.
No.
Yeah.
Let's first teach it to,
I'm more afraid of not winning the fight against it.
Yeah. Let's teach it to run away first, and then learn how to fight. How's that?
I mean, it's going to pick up fighting on its own.
Yeah.
But, at some point, like, before we head out, I do want to go catch, like, a small little animal.
If you spend the time over the few days, you definitely can do that. Go ahead and just roll me a survival check. We'll see how much time it actually takes you to come up with some vermin. Yeah, you with relative ease and not constraining yourself to your direct path back to the end, you're going to be able to find some small rodents and small game to feed your dragon over the next few days. Alive, if you
I want it to be alive, yes.
Yeah, definitely you'd be able to find probably one or two small animals alive to provide the dragon. Are you feeding them just directly to him, or are you trying to do something specific with the live animals?
So I'm actually just going to let the live animal go and let the
Okay.
dragon catch it himself.
Okay.
Did you bring back for him to hunt?
Do what?
What did you catch?
I don't know. It's like a little rat or something.
Yeah, you see Cronus produce a little white kind of squirrel from his pocket. You've seen these kind of all around Sunos, these furry little rodents upon different rooftops and different other posts and things around the town. And yeah, it just kind of looks like it's sniffing at you. It realizes it's in danger, and as soon as it's able to get out of Cronus's hands, it leaps and just tries to start darting all over the place. This immediately triggers Umbra. I'm saying it wrong. I feel like. How do you say it? Umbra?
Umbra?
Umbra, and he just takes off hunting after it. It knocks over different things, decorating around the room, different things, frames and other kind of decorations like glassware or other fragile items kind of clash and clatter as it kind of tossles the legs of different furniture, chasing after this little squirrel that's jumping along all the furniture and pulling upon the drapes to try to escape the dragon. Umbra's kind of flapping its wings more and more, getting a little bit more control, or at least some kind of lift out of him as he tries to make his jumps at the critter. And then he eventually does get his creature the first time. Do you do it a second time after you catch the next critter over the next couple of days, or do you feed him differently on the next time?
No, I mean, just probably like once a day I would feed them like the live animal.
Okay. Yeah, with that 20 and the plethora of other kind of, easy kind of critters in the streets, you'll be able to do that. Yeah. Upon the day that you guys had discussed, I'm sorry, the day before you guys had planned to head out, you had been talked about leaving in the morning. If you guys would rather leave in the evening, just let me know. You are approached by a familiar face of Knoxton Wood, and he is delivering a letter from Their Majesties to Karuta for you guys before the next day. It'll kind of detail the events of what's kind of unfolding with Bruco and the clans to the north. Excuse me. It's yeah. It is welcoming you guys to visit the castle if you so choose to talk to them, but it does have some news of things that have kind of been developing with the orcs during their time here in Sunos. I'm just trying to read through my notes. I the other stuff for a while, so gotta refresh my stuff on this. Okay. She'll say the orcs and us are deciding on what the next strategic move is against the Empress. We're still kind of debating the different options to consider, but it seems like a lot are starting to lean towards these one more time. It seems like there is a debate between there's a debate between Cinderella and Rapunzel and the other queens and kings from Escott and Dallenberg about what their next moves are. With Lunda still under control of the Wicked Witch of the West, and King Richard Lionheart still fighting his front in the east against the undead hordes of the Witch of the East. It also will say that their Snow White's concern is growing that while they maintain the defenses in the Dragonfang Forest, that she's worried that such a large loss to the Empress may provoke an attack or some kind of thing and out of spite or vengeance in retaliation. Seems like there's still some things they're considering, but they are talking those through, and it looks like they're trying to come to a decision on what their next move is and where to best use the Horde in their fight against the Empire as well. He doesn't really discuss the details of the message, and he really is not. If you guys choose to read it after he leaves, especially, he will ask you about it, but he'll say, well, Karuda, he goes, your time here has been brief. I also bring news of anything else that the scholars could find as you want us to continue to look up Pixie Hollow or the fairies, so they can out in the Westford Forest. Sorry, I don't know why I'm stuttering so bad. That's not Westford. Westford Forest. Damn it! This is. I was trying. Let me read this. Oh, got it. Sorry. The scholars have been trying to find any additional clues, though it seems that the hiding place of this fairy village has always been kept secret by the forest and all the creatures that kind of dwell within that sanctuary in the forest. We did, so it was hard to find anything more than what you guys had already done with your research and time there. Conversations, though, continued as we start trying to track down rumor, any kind of inklings and pulling at threads to figure out more information. Well, there was another interesting incident the scholars mentioned about another recent request for information for out in the West. Apparently, this person has been kind of seeking, or he claims to be seeking, a special tree or special beings in the forest that are older than time itself and older than the rocks. The rocks on this earth, or some of these things seem to be like trees that have lived through the ages. And there was one that he was trying to find out in the same forest. He had a heading. It was slightly southwest. I do not know if this tree is the same thing that you guys are seeking, but it was the only other kind of information that they had, a request for this type of details from anything within the forest in some time. It would have been a few weeks, probably a few weeks by now, but.
Who is this person?
I don't know if they provided a name. It was an odd pillow. It didn't really look like anyone from Dallenberg or Espa. But he was about this tall, and he kind of motions and tan, fairly, I guess, tan skin. And he just kind of describes a human, kind of generically. He describes just kind of like his hair. He wore his hair back in a ponytail, and He didn't really make a huge impression. They said it was weird that he didn't that he was wearing like different kind of clothing that they weren't very familiar with. And it was really odd that he wasn't wearing shoes. I don't they don't understand. They do remember him not wearing shoes for some reason.
Wait,
What?
I
You know our shoeless weirdo?
Skybor
Don't
didn't wear shoes.
know what you're talking about.
Skybor didn't wear shoes, did he?
No, but why would he be looking for a tree?
He's a
I-
druid.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like, wasn't he on some mission to do something? That was very vague, actually.
He was on a
Okay.
very broad pilgrimage.
It might be Skybor, but what would finding this tree do for him?
I don't know. Unfortunately, we didn't ask enough of him while he was with us.
How long was his hair, this guy you met, and did he talk in a very slow, measured voice?
If you guys take the time to imitate or disguise self, he will definitely be able to confirm the identity of Sky 4. Though he won't know him by
He
that
looked
name.
like this.
Yeah,
And
I
he'll,
like.
He'll say, "Oh, I do recognize that face," but I personally didn't deal or work with him directly on his, I guess, at his request with the scholars. So he must have did some kind of favor for someone to get access to the royal libraries and those archives, though.
I didn't even know he could
But
read.
yeah, from what I understand from those that share the information, it was more speech to text or text to speech or them relaying information or and really just answering questions that he had and doing more of the research with and for him.
Why am I suddenly concerned about this? Skybor's way
Just a
too
little
fun to
bit.
deal with Faye. If he finds that tree and a bunch of pixies, he's gonna be screwed.
Well, he is wise. They could trick him into doing or signing something.
Saying thank you or saying his name. Any of that. Which, by the way, don't tell anyone your real name in the Fae or say thank you.
Yeah,
Do your characters know that?
As much as I've been looking into the Fae, I'd hope so.
Yeah,
did
you
the research.
probably would. Well, yeah, with your research into the Fae that you guys have been doing, you would know that historically there's been several events that are kind of binding, and although the terms are loose and odd at times, they are very binding and not something you can usually break. There's usually some dire consequences if you.
Like, I doubt
We
I know any famous Fae, but like, I probably know that.
We probably want to come up with fake names before we get to the Feywild.
And you also know while the Fae is dangerous, oftentimes it doesn't mean they're necessarily evil, but that doesn't mean that things that are
Doesn't mean they're good either.
The good things still can be chaotic and dangerous towards you as well.
Oh, I know.
Or not, and also a lot. There are several fake creatures that, while they're not intention is not to be dangerous, it could be just mischievous. Now, whether or not that crosses the line is very vague. But yeah.
So what Faye said, you should probably come up with names you want to be called in the Feywild, or I'm going to make them up.
I'm already ahead of the game. Bones, Red, Half Pint, Kid, and Scales.
Am I Kid or Half Pint?
You're Half Pint. That's Kid.
I'm Kid.
Huh. I still don't like it, but I like it a little more.
What? I missed it. I'm sorry. I didn't miss what were you saying, Howard?
Well, he just went. He's like said he's ahead of the game. He's already give everyone nicknames.
What's the nickname for Bax and Edith again?
Huh.
Hired help 1, hired help 2.
Awesome. All right. Let's go ahead and close up shop tonight. I'm just kind of getting your heading, I guess, to figure out where you guys are wanting to do on your, I guess, tonight
Pixie
here
Hop.
with Knox. Is there anything else you guys want to do with Knox Thimblewood after he delivers this message? And do you guys read it after he leaves, or do you read it there and therefore have questions after you read his message, or anything about the current events going on at the castle that they're discussing?
It wasn't the message just, we think she's going to strike back, but we don't know when.
We don't know when, and we're deciding whether or not we need to try to save one of the other two kingdoms in danger, or strike against the Empress before she has a chance to retaliate. So Lunda is in trouble. Nottingham is in trouble. Burlos is still under the Empress's control, and they've been holding the line in the Dragonfang Forest on the last you heard. So, yeah, the letter doesn't really give you too many more elaborate details, but that's what you pieced together after other hearsay and other previous conversations, and then the details of what this letter is telling you, too. Any specific questions about the letter? I can see if that is included, or
Essentially asking us what we want them to do, or are they just telling us facts?
no, they're like the leaders are trying to discuss things. And again, it is a letter, and though it is with one of her trusted guards, the details are not so spelt out. But yeah, they're just essentially giving you an update that they're trying to decide on what their next moves is. It's going to be soon that they're going to make the decision, and they're going to be making a decision soon. It doesn't ask for your recommendation, but it does seem like an open invitation as the way that it kind of starts off the letter as an as the introductory of the letter. So it does look like they've invited you for an audience, or they would entertain an audience with you if you were interested. But they were just kind of giving you more general update as the events as you go seek the key, the relic that you guys have been kind of searching for, as you kind of as you've been kind of looking for more information and set more of the keys of Merlin.
Do any of you want to go talk to the queens, or?
Probably not.
Do we want to send a reply?
I'm okay. Also, if you guys don't want to like role play that out, and if there's like maybe like if you guys want to kind of as we skip forward, like ask specific questions that they may or may not be able to answer. I'm open to that idea as well. I don't want you guys to like.
We have the guard here. Do we want to send a reply to them? First off, do we actually have any opinion on any of this?
I don't think they have a big enough army to face the queen.
Hell no, that's the only thing I agree with.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't.
Striking against the Empress now is suicide.
Yeah, save against the kingdoms that are currently being trying to be taken over, then gather up an army, a better army, and then go after the queen. Hold your borders.
So are we telling them to hold their borders and anticipate an attack, or go after the other ones?
Oh. No, maybe
I'd say they're all so kind of like considering like who if they don't attack the queen, who to go save next, Nottingham or Lunda. They're trying to make the call because
whoever will be easier to get. So they do not lose as many people. And that is up to them because we are not tacticians.
Well, wasn't
yeah,
Nottingham with a bunch of
yeah,
zombies and Lunda... Is that the one with giants?
Whichever one is
Lunda
easier.
has several lizard folk and constructs, and other kind of orcs, goblins, and things working for that are part of the Empire that are therefore under the control of the Wicked Coven. Several enemies like that, but most notably is the large number of constructs and automatons, and that's what more of the threat. Lizard folk and the automatons and other constructs. Now that she's kind of taken over and has some of the factories kind of producing some more mechs or more Warforged-esque like creatures. They're not Warforged.
I would say whichever one will make a larger impact for the good without sacrificing as many people. But
yeah, I don't think
and
we should
you
give
guys don't have to. You don't have to give any advice if you don't want to. It's
Yeah.
very
Well,
open-ended.
We
There's
got
no
it.
right or wrong answer.
So I'll take out a piece of paper that I have and rip it off from my journal. 1 sec. So essentially, I'm just gonna write, "Don't attack the Empress. You would lose your whole army."
Yeah.
However, it would be a good idea to liberate one of the kingdoms, whichever one you think would give you the biggest bang for your buck without losing too much. You know your resources better than we do. Signed, Karuta.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll hand it back to the guy after sealing it. There you go.
All right. He'll take that letter, and before leaving for the evening, he will hand you guys one more letter to you guys. This one specifically directly to you, Lorna.
Oh. Shit.
He'll say, "I was told as soon as this came in, and then it's all the name to get this to you immediately. Apparently, you've been kind of waiting for this for a moment, and he'll kind of dismiss himself. He goes, I hope to see you all back as soon, and appreciate it. Yeah, he's just very grateful and he's inspired by your meeting you all, and he looks forward, to telling your tales of what you've done here for the Kingdom of Sunus and Erosia for in coming years." And he leaves you with a letter in your hand, Lorna, that is written in a familiar handwriting as that from your brother that you have been trying to reach for some time to determine what has happening with out in the Eastern Kingdoms. Oh, I'm sorry. That would be the. I'll look at the map again. Jesus, the Northern Kingdoms.
I would see it and just tuck it away for now until I can have a private moment to read it.
Okay. Are you trying? Yep. Yep. Okay. Very good. I think it's a good spot to stop for the night. We'll pick up in the morning, unless you would like to do anything with that this evening, Lorna. Otherwise, I would imagine you guys are off on the road, or did you want to read it over or when you go to sleep or something?
I'll read it when I go to sleep, but I can do that in behind the scenes kind of stuff.
Perfect.
Do we want to do the commune spell tonight or save
Oh my
for...
goodness!
Let's
do the.
Well,
shit.
Why don't we do
I
it?
forgot about the goddamn commune spell when we did the skip forward. Let's do
I
that.
mean, you could send it.
Yeah, send the
type.
questions so you have time to figure out the answers and or questions.
Because I
Good.
am
I mean,
only
I'm-
allowed to answer yes, no, or like maybe, like one word answers.
Oh,
right?
are you?
it's like yes, no, or
You
undecided.
can offer
Oh,
a short
okay.
phrase as an answer.
Or a short phrase. Okay. So like a one sentence tops.
And it can,
Yeah,
I
one or
think
two
it can also be
sentences.
cryptic too, can it?
It doesn't necessarily need to be accurate. That's what I found. I was reading on it's whatever the gods know to be true. That doesn't mean that it's actually true. It's what they know.
In a case where a one-word answer would be misleading or contrary to the deity's interests.
Yeah, like she wouldn't tell. Like I'm trying to think. Like she wouldn't omit. She wouldn't give an answer to Faye if she knew that wasn't completely. It's not like she's not pulling a trick on like a Faye creature would be. It's more like, hey, if I go pick up that bag of gold, is that gonna hurt me at all, or is that a setup, or you're like, no, the gold's not gonna hurt you. It would be like a Faye creature, but the gods would be like, the gold's not gonna hurt you, but you will get hurt in the process because there's a pit trapped under. I don't know, some like there's consequences. They'll kind of, I feel like, guide you a little bit more.
The good thing is she's chaotic good.
Yeah, like she wants you to not get hurt. So she wants you. I mean, I guess every god's different, but I imagine the good gods primarily want their followers to do well. All right, cool. Yeah, she just may not know. She'll know her truth of the answer. That's the only fair answer I can give. Yeah.
That is fair.
She knows her truth.
She knows her truth.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for another fun session. I was very happy to spend another day kind of just exploring what you guys wanted to do. I think these last two are really good for the group and kind of added a new dynamic. I like using the help a little bit more with you guys. It makes it feel like I can, like, I don't know, start you guys on your own little sidebar conversations that don't really have an opportunity to sometimes like come to light. Just like Josel's drinking problem all of a sudden. So,
Yeah.
I hope you guys have had fun. I know there's not been combat, but I've really enjoyed the last two sessions. So
Yeah. It was
off
good.
to the woods next week.
And the return of possibly Skybor.
Dun dun dun.
And Nika in her head was like,
no.
wait, does he even know how to read? Does Skybor know how to